Alright, thanks for watching Sven on Tech video review. This video review is for the Alpine iVA-W505, specifically the iPod component. So let's go ahead and turn on the unit. And as you can see, we'll get a good idea of what boot up's like for the Alpine iVA-W505. Fairly quick. Here's the iPod searching. It is paused. We're going to go ahead and start playing. Put the volume up a little so you get an idea of what we're listening to. Here's an example of how it displays the track information. Baby Come Back, your first line is the song player, the artist, and Sounds of the 70s, and it gets truncated, and then a little album art for you. Unfortunately, one would think tapping the album would maybe open the album art larger, but not in this case. If you do push style, you will get a different view. You'll get the same information, and look here, we've gotten more information now from the album. That's because the character display in this mode is much greater than the character display in what I call the pretty mode of this. This is the pretty mode, and this is what I call more or less the information display. You have a smaller album cover art. You have the track count, 2 of 12, and you also have track time information. Again, one would think tapping the track time would toggle between time left or time remaining and time in session, but unfortunately it does not. Here you have the song list. It gives you a list of the coming songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 songs are what we have. Pressing this button gives you instant access to the bass, treble, and subwoofer. And then of course you have your clock, which is always there, your volume, which is always there, and the Bluetooth indicator, which is always there when you have an active connection with a Bluetooth device. Under it, you have your soft buttons for forward, or excuse me, reverse, pause, play, forward. You can see it was pretty quick in getting to the next song by Little River Band. We'll go one more time, but notice here the information kind of disappeared. Give it a second, and again it fills. Now, this is an issue that I'm kind of confused about, is if it sucked the information off your iPod, and all we're doing is doing next, why does everything disappear? Including the track, the cover of the album. I'm not sure what Alpine is doing for caching, why it doesn't cache this information, because when we did the review for the iVA, or we did the review for the 001 Alpine unit, the very first iPod connector, we didn't see this information disappearing, so they're handling it a bit different on this unit. We'll go back into pretty mode. In pretty mode, if you don't have album cover, we'll show you an iPod. If you do, obviously it pops right up and gives you that information. Again, I'm a little disappointed by the lack of being able to tap on some of the information and change current time to time remaining. I'm also a little bummed that when you go into your papers here, this gets you into the availability of either music or videos. Another thing that kind of is a little upsetting is if I play, let's say, we just did the 70s and 80s, or 70s, we're going to do the 80s and 90s now. If I go into here, and I go back into, and watch how long it takes. It takes about 3.5 seconds to fill your information. I don't know why it takes that long. But if we go back to here, we actually have to drill back down from the very beginning. We can't hit a back button of any way to get us back to where we once were in this selection of the playlist, which has been kind of annoying. So it's a bummer. Now I can select different playlists by hitting that little button on the bottom. Now it's going to go to the next playlist. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me what playlist it is, but it is the next playlist, and in this case it was the playlist above this, and that was the 70s playlist that we selected.